Welcome to the Humankind tutorial series where we'll give you a rundown of the different parts of the game. In this one, you'll learn some basic mechanics like movement, advancing out of the Neolithic era, and early game tips and tricks. Everybody in Humankind starts off as a Neolithic tribe, and the goal in this stage is to make it up to the Ancient Era. How do you do that? Well, you'll have to gain era stars. You gain era stars by completing objectives, which you can see up here in the top left corner of your screen. Before we get into what these objectives are, though, you'll have to learn to navigate the map. To move your units, select the group, then select the tile you'd like to move to. Different units have different numbers of movement points, and once you're out, you'll have to wait until the next turn to move again. These guys only have 4 movement points, as you can see here, and we've used them all. Let's click the End Turn button here. Humankind is played in turns. Every player carries out their actions simultaneously during their turn. When there's nothing left to do, you must select End Turn to move to the next one. Ending a turn will refill unit movement points, advance any ongoing constructions, and top up the number of resources you produce. In each era, you'll have to earn 7 era stars out of a possible 21 to advance to the next one, except for the Neolithic era. Here, you'll have to obtain 1 of 3. To obtain a growth star, you'll have to gain population units. To gain units, you'll have to earn food, which can be found through hunting wildlife, ransacking animal sanctuaries, and sending units to these glowing curiosities with the food icon. Ransacking is pretty simple. If you find yourself near one of these markers here, select your army, then select the ransack button on the right side of your screen. Then select the sanctuary you'd like to ransack. In the Neolithic era, it'll take a turn to finish, but later down the line, depending on what you ransack, it could take longer. You can also ransack outposts, districts, and extractors, but we'll talk a little more about that in the Break the Wall video. You'll get science stars by obtaining science curiosities, similar to the food ones I just mentioned. Pay attention to the curiosities icon to know exactly what you're picking up. To earn a hunter star, you'll have to hunt wildlife. In this era, you'll find deer, bears, and mammoths, so make sure you have enough units with you to live to tell the tale. To attack an animal, select your army, then select the attack button in the army panel on the right and select the animal you'd like to attack. I'm going to hit this button to resolve the battle manually, and this will open up the battle map. Place your units in the deployment phase, paying attention to terrain elevation and type. We'll dive deeper into how battles work in the Stick 'em Up videos, but for now, just remember, high ground equals good, rivers and low ground equals bad. Just a couple extra things to think about and take with you in these early stages of the game. The foggy parts of the map are areas you either haven't discovered yet or don't have vision over. When you navigate to these areas, the terrain will become visible to you. Be careful though, because you may also discover a hostile faction, animal, or independent people. Also, different tiles on the map work in unique ways. For example, traveling on or through forests will cost more movement points than usual. Rivers work a little differently. Landing on a river tile will cost quite a few movement points, but traveling along a river will allow you to move without penalty. Hover over different tiles to see how many base movement points it'll cost to travel over them. And that should be most of the basics. Check out some of the other videos for a deeper dive into the more specific parts of the game.
Our universe contains infinite stories, most of which are about rocks and ice at sub-zero temperatures in a vacuum. Rather boring. However, on a small damp rock, there is a story that bears a second look. It's your story. But the first 4 billion years or so mostly concern amino acids. Not much of a page turner. But then, over time, the amino acids bond together and things start to get interesting and a bit drier. A certain subspecies of hominid discovers that you can do more with a sharp rock than annoy your little brother. Tools and weapons are invented. The hominids begin to cooperate. Fire becomes a servant rather than an unpredictable force of nature. They learn to tan the skins of animals for clothing. They learn ways to record and probably exaggerate their adventures. Eventually, these tribes learn to build shelters and immediately hold the first barbecue parties. This is the dawn of humankind. Struggle and cooperation have been rewarded. The Neolithic era draws to a close. The whole world beckons. This tribe has come far, but the rest of their story is your story. You are the one who will build them into a great civilization. How far will you push humankind? The race begins. A new world, a new history, untold possibilities. There is so much to see, to do, to learn, or, depending on one's preferences, to destroy. Full bellies and healthy children. I see where this is going.
This way.
Just because a culture died out doesn't mean it wasn't worthy of study.
Acknowledge. Yes. Uh-huh. Earth gives us strength. Uh-huh. For the tribe.
You have built a first outpost, adding another territory to your empire. I know, you're hoping this is the beginning of something very, very big.
My feet. What's over there?
the challenges of a young civilization. It's hard keeping up with the neighbors when they have the wheel and you don't. Humankind learns quickly that everyone contributes. If you're terrified of wild animals, you can grow lentils or catch fish. Tribes settle towns. Towns develop markets, and markets begin the exchange of goods, services, and most important, rumors and hearsay. So now we advance as the warlike Assyrians. You're not going to be a very nice neighbor, are you?